Stop what you are doing right now. I need you to hear this. Not tomorrow, not later, not when it is convenient. Right now. Because what I am about to reveal to you was not released to just anyone. This message was held in the halls of heaven, sealed with urgency, and delivered to this exact moment in your life for one reason. You need to know what is happening around you before it is too late. Archangel Michael, the commander of the heavenly armies, the one who stands at the gates of divine protection, has sent a message directly to you. And that message begins with a warning about your neighborhood, a warning about proximity, a warning about the people who live close to you, who smile at you, who wave at you, and who, behind closed doors, have released something against your life that heaven has already intercepted. Can I ask you something? Have you felt an unusual heaviness lately? A weight that you cannot explain, that seems to follow you from room to room inside your own home? Have you noticed that the very moment things started looking better for you, something came along and tried to disrupt it? Have there been strange moments of confusion, of conflict inside your household, of tension that appears out of nowhere and disappears just as suddenly, leaving you wondering what just happened? If you answered yes to even one of those questions, then this video was sent to you by the hand of God. Because what Archangel Michael is revealing today is not a coincidence. The angels that surround your life have been watching. They have been tracking movements, not in the physical world alone, but in the spiritual atmosphere directly above your home, directly above your family, directly above the destiny that God has written for you. And what they have seen has prompted a divine response. Something was sent against you. A woman, someone close, someone near, someone whose face you may already know, has allowed jealousy, bitterness, and a spirit of witchcraft to flow in your direction. But here is what the enemy does not know. Heaven saw it the moment it was released, and Archangel Michael has already been dispatched. This is not a message of fear. This is a message of divine intelligence. I am not warning you to run. I am warning you so that you can stand firm, fully covered, fully sealed, fully protected, as I reveal layer by layer everything that is happening and everything I'm doing on your behalf. You were not chosen for this message by accident. Your name is written on my heart. I know the sleepless nights. I know the prayers you have whispered when no one else was listening. I know the sacrifices you have made for your family, the things you have silently carried, the dreams you have refused to let go of, even when the weight became almost unbearable. And it is precisely because of that faithfulness, that quiet, stubborn faith, that the enemy sent someone to stop you before your breakthrough arrived. But she is too late. Type in the comments, I received this message. Archangel Michael is speaking to me. And before we go any further, if this message is already touching something deep inside your spirit, take 2 seconds right now to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Every week, heaven releases urgent messages just like this one, and you do not want to miss a single one. Click subscribe, turn on the bell, and let's continue, because what comes next will change everything. My dear son, my dear daughter, before the enemy ever made his move, I made mine. You need to understand something about the way I work. I do not respond to the plans of darkness after they have already done their damage. I move in advance. I position my warriors before the first arrow is ever released. I seal my beloved before the enemy even finishes forming his strategy. And in your case, in the specific, personal, irreplaceable case of your life, Archangel Michael received his orders long before you ever felt the first wave of that oppression pressing against your home. The sword of Michael is not a sword that reacts. It is a sword that preempts. Right now, at this very moment, I want you to close your eyes for just a moment and picture this. Above the roof of your home, whether you live in a house, an apartment, a rented room, or a place that does not yet feel like what you dreamed of, above that roof, There is a presence, a towering, blazing, immovable, angelic presence. His wings are spread wide, his sword is drawn, his eyes are fixed on every entrance point of your life, and his assignment is singular. Nothing that has been sent against you will reach its intended target. Nothing. Not the words that were spoken, not the rituals that were performed, not the jealousy that was weaponized, not the prayer, if you can even call it that was prayed against your finances, against your marriage, against the health of your children, against the peace of your household. Every single one of those assignments was intercepted the moment it crossed the threshold of angelic jurisdiction over your life. And here is what I want you to truly grasp, because this is not just poetic language, this is not spiritual metaphor meant to make you feel good for a few minutes. This is the operational reality of what is happening in the invisible world that governs the visible one. There is a war, and you are winning it. Not because of how powerful you are, not because of how perfectly you have lived, not because you have not made mistakes, or not doubted, or not cried out in moments of desperation, wondering if I had forgotten you. You are winning it because I am the one fighting for you, and I do not lose. Michael was sent to your home because your home matters, because what I have placed inside of you, the calling, the gift, the assignment, is worth protecting at the highest level of spiritual military deployment. The enemy does not waste his best strategies on people who are not a threat to his kingdom. The fact that you are under this level of attack is not a sign that you are losing. It is confirmation that you are exactly where you are supposed to be, carrying exactly what the enemy fears most. Now let me show you what the sword of Michael actually does when it is drawn over a home. It cuts every invisible cord that was attached to your life without your permission. Every soul tie that was formed through manipulation, through false friendship, through proximity-based spiritual contamination, severed. Every agreement that was made in the spirit realm against your family, dissolved. Every legal right that the enemy claimed through words spoken, through objects placed, through actions taken near your property, revoked. The sword does not just defend, it dismantles. And right now, as you are watching this message, the dismantling is happening. You may not feel it the way you feel physical sensation, but in the days that follow this moment, you are going to begin to notice changes. Things that were blocked will begin to move. Relationships that were under strain will begin to soften. Heaviness that seemed to have no explanation will begin to lift. Clarity will return to places where confusion had taken up residence. That is not coincidence. That is the sword of Michael finishing its work. I want you to understand that your home is a holy site, not because of what you have done, but because of what I declared over it when I breathed your name into existence. Your home was always meant to be a place of peace, of provision, of divine activity. The enemy targeted it precisely because of what it was always meant to carry. Not what it looks like right now, but what I designed it to become. And no weapon formed against that design will prosper, not the jealousy of a neighbor, not the whispered words of a woman who saw your blessing coming before you did and decided to try and stop it, not the spiritual assignments deployed from inside the very community where I placed you, because I placed you there not as a victim, but as a carrier of light in that territory. You are not the target. You are the prize. And I do not let my prizes be taken. Place your right hand over your heart right now and declare out loud, my home is protected by the sword of Archangel Michael. Nothing sent against me will prosper. Feel that declaration settle into your spirit, because it is not just words. It is an activation. It is you agreeing with what I have already done. And when heaven and earth come into agreement, things shift. The sword is drawn, my child, and it will remain drawn for as long as the enemy dares to set his gaze on what belongs to me. My dear daughter, you have been living with a partial picture, and today I am going to show you the rest of it. You see your neighbor the way the natural world presents her to you. You see the surface. You see the greetings at the mailbox, the small talk across the fence, the casual waves from the driveway. You see what she chooses to present. But my angels, the ones I have stationed at every entry point of your life, they see everything. They see what happens when the door closes. They see what is spoken in private. They see what is felt in the heart, what is nursed in the spirit, what is intentionally directed in your direction. And I have authorized the full disclosure of what they have seen, because you need to know the truth of the spiritual environment you are living in, so that you can stop being caught off guard by attacks that I have already neutralized, and start walking in the full awareness of the victory I have already secured on your behalf. Here is what the angels have been watching. There is a woman in your proximity. She may be a direct neighbor. She may be someone in your immediate community, someone who attends the same gatherings you attend, someone who has found a way to stay close to the edges of your life. And this woman has been watching you with a spirit that is not clean, not from a place of admiration, not from genuine friendship, from a place of deep, festering jealousy that she has chosen again and again to feed rather than surrender to me. She saw something about your life that triggered something inside of her. It may have been a blessing you received. It may have been the peace she sensed in your home while her own life felt fractured. It may have been the love in your marriage or the potential she saw in your children, or simply the favor that seems to follow you even in your most difficult seasons. The grace that makes people wonder why you keep standing when circumstances say you should have fallen by now. And instead of bringing that comparison to me, instead of asking me to bless her life the way I have been building yours, she turned that feeling into a weapon. The angels watched as she spoke words against you. Words she did not say to your face. Words spoken in the company of others who do not wish you well, or spoken alone in moments of quiet bitterness, or breathed out in the form of prayers that were not directed at heaven, prayers that traveled in a darker direction. The angels saw the energy of those words leave her lips and travel toward your home like arrows released in spiritual darkness. But here is what I need you to see with the eyes of faith, not the eyes of fear. Every arrow was caught. Every word that traveled toward your home passed through a perimeter of angelic fire before it could reach you. The angels who stand guard at the property lines of your life, the ones I assigned to you before you were born, the ones who have never left your side. They intercepted each and every assignment. They held them. They brought them before the throne, and they were dissolved in the presence of my holiness. Not diminished, not delayed, dissolved. Now, the angels also noticed something else. They noticed the moments when this woman attempted to get physically closer to you, closer to your home, closer to your family members, closer to the intimate details of your life, specifically to gather information that could be used in another round of spiritual assault. There is a pattern of proximity in the enemy's strategy. He uses people who are near you to be his instruments, because closeness grants access, that distance does not. This is why I am telling you, be wise, not fearful, not suspicious of every human being around you, but wise, because discernment is one of the greatest gifts I ever gave my people, and in this season I am calling you to use it at full capacity. The angels have also been watching your response to this pressure. And let me tell you what they reported back. They saw your faith, even on the days when you did not feel it, even on the days when you wondered if you were imagining things, when you talked yourself out of the very instincts I placed inside you as spiritual radar. The angels saw every moment when you chose prayer over panic, every time you chose worship when your circumstances were calling you toward worry. Every night, you fell asleep trusting that I was still in control, even though the situation around you had not yet changed. That faithfulness is not invisible to me. It is written. It is recorded. And it is exactly the reason why I did not allow what was sent against you to reach its mark. Say out loud right now, I see with spiritual eyes. I discern what is hidden, and I am protected from every invisible attack against my life. The picture is becoming clearer now, my child. The enemy wanted to keep you blind to his tactics. He wanted you to experience the effects of the assignment without ever understanding the source, so that you would feel like your life was just perpetually hard, that things just never quite worked out, that your breakthroughs always seemed to stop just short of full manifestation. He wanted you confused, not enlightened. But I am enlightening you today. Type in the comments, I see what the angels see, and I am not afraid, because knowledge of the enemy's strategy, received in the presence of divine protection, does not produce fear. It produces authority. And in the next chapter, I'm going to tell you exactly how deep that jealousy goes, and how it has already been turned around to work in your favor. My dear son, jealousy is one of the oldest weapons in the enemy's arsenal. And it is one of the most dangerous, not because of what it is in itself, but because of who it uses. It does not need a stranger. It does not need someone you can easily identify as an adversary. It works best through the familiar, through the close, through the one you least expect. And I want you to understand the nature of what has been released against you. Not so that you can carry offense, not so that you can respond with anger or retaliation, but so that you can understand the full scope of the spiritual battle you are in, and why my response to it has been as decisive and as powerful as it has been. The jealousy that has been directed at your life did not begin recently. It has been building for some time. It began as a thought, a comparison that arose in the heart of this woman the moment she began to see that favor was moving in your life in a way it was not moving in hers. That comparison, had she brought it to me, would have been a seed I could have turned into a blessing for her own life. But she did not bring it to me. She nursed it. She returned to it. She allowed it to move from a passing thought to a fixed feeling, to an active orientation of her heart against you. And that is when it became a weapon. Jealousy in its spiritual form is not simply an emotion. It is a conductor. It carries intent through the invisible atmosphere, the way electrical current carries power through a wire. When a person nurtures jealousy long enough, and allows it to crystallize into intentional ill will toward another person, it becomes something that the enemy can use as a spiritual force, a concentrated negative energy aimed with precision at the life, the family, the finances, and the peace of the target. You have been that target. Let me be specific about the areas that were targeted, so that you can understand why certain things in your life have felt inexplicably resistant in this season. Your finances were targeted first. There has been a pattern, subtle enough that you may have dismissed it as bad luck, as timing, as normal difficulty, where money comes in and seems to leave faster than it should, where opportunities that seemed solid suddenly dissolve, where unexpected expenses arrive precisely at the moments when you were beginning to build a small margin of breathing room. This is not random. This is an assignment, and it has been operating against the financial destiny I have written for your life. Your peace at home was targeted second. The atmosphere inside your house has carried a weight in certain seasons that did not originate from anything happening inside your family. Tension without a clear source. Irritability between family members who love each other. A spiritual pressure that makes the inside of your home feel heavier than it should. That makes rest harder to find, even when your body is exhausted. This, too, is not coincidence. It is the work of an assignment aimed at disrupting the peace I placed over your household. Your confidence was targeted third. The enemy knows that if he can make you doubt yourself, your gifts, your calling, your worthiness to receive the breakthrough that is coming, he does not need to block the blessing directly. He can get you to step back from it on your own. So you have experienced waves of self-doubt, moments of feeling inadequate, seasons of wondering whether your dreams were too large or your faith too presumptuous. Those thoughts were planted. They were not revelations. They were seeds of discouragement dropped into the soil of your mind at your most vulnerable moments. But here is the truth that dismantles every single one of those assignments. Jealousy always overplays its hand. The enemy who used this woman's jealousy as a weapon made a critical miscalculation. Because every time he attacks what I have assigned for breakthrough, he does not delay it. He accelerates it. Every time the pressure increases against a promise I have made, it is because the promise is closer to fulfillment than it has ever been. The spiritual opposition does not signal that the blessing has been lost. It signals that the enemy has seen the blessing coming and is desperately trying to prevent the inevitable. Your financial breakthrough is not cancelled. It has been compressed, forced, by the very opposition against it, to arrive with greater intensity and greater impact than it would have if the path had been smooth. Your household peace is not permanently disrupted. Every bit of spiritual pressure that was applied to your home has activated a corresponding level of angelic reinforcement. The same atmosphere that felt heavy is being cleared right now as you receive this word, and what is coming to replace it is a peace that is deeper, more settled, and more unshakable than anything you felt before the attack began. Your confidence is not broken, it is being forged. The same fire that the enemy intended to use to burn your sense of calling has become the furnace in which I am hardening your purpose into something that cannot be shaken by any future attack. And as for the woman whose jealousy was weaponized against you, I am not asking you to hate her. I am not asking you to confront her, retaliate against her, or even cut her off in a spirit of judgment. What I am asking you to do is the most powerful spiritual action you can take in response to what has been released against your life. I am asking you to forgive her, and then to watch as I turn everything she sent against you into the very fuel that accelerates your destiny. Place your hand over your heart and say, I forgive every person who has worked against me in ignorance or in jealousy. I release them to God, and I receive the full acceleration of every blessing that was delayed by their actions. That is not weakness, my child. That is the most aggressive spiritual move you can make. Because when you release it to me, I take over completely, and what I do with what was meant against you will leave every enemy speechless. My dear daughter, I have not been passive. While the enemy was making his plans, while the jealousy was being nursed into a weapon, while the assignments were being deployed, I was not sitting still. I was not watching with distant concern. I was not waiting for you to reach a certain level of prayer intensity before I moved on your behalf. I was already moving. I am always already moving for those who belong to me. Let me show you what heaven has been doing about the woman who set herself against your life. The moment her intentions crystallized, the moment what was in her heart crossed from feeling into action, a signal went through the spiritual realm. A shift occurred in the angelic assignment over your life. The standard level of protection that I maintain around every one of my children was elevated. Reinforcements were deployed. The perimeter of divine fire around your home, your family, your finances, your health, and your destiny was expanded and intensified. She did not know that by targeting you, she activated a higher level of coverage over everything she was trying to reach. But that is only the beginning of what heaven has been doing. I have been dealing with her at the root. Not through punishment. I am not in the business of destruction, even for those who make themselves enemies of my beloved. But I have been sending conviction. I have been placing my voice in the quiet moments of her life. In the middle of the night, when she cannot sleep. In the pause between one action and the next. In the moments when she is alone with herself and cannot escape the weight of what she has allowed to grow inside her. I have been giving her the opportunity to turn, to repent, to release the jealousy, to choose a different path. Whether she accepts that invitation is her choice. I will not force it. But what I can tell you is this: the opportunity has been extended, and in the meantime, every plan she formed against your life is being systematically dismantled by the same angels who guard your gates. Now let me show you something else, something that will reframe everything you have experienced in this season. The watching that this woman has been doing, the way she has kept her eyes on your life, tracking your movements, monitoring your progress, staying close enough to observe without appearing to surveil. That watching was meant to give the enemy strategic information. It was meant to identify the best angles of attack against your most vulnerable areas. But I turned it into something else entirely. Because in her watching, she has been an involuntary witness to everything I am building in your life. She has watched the favor. She has watched the resilience. She has watched you bounce back from things that were designed to level you. She has watched breakthroughs arrive in your life in spite of every attempt to block them. And without realizing it, she has been documenting, in her own memory, in the testimony of her own eyes, evidence of my faithfulness to you. The day is coming, and it is not far, when what she has witnessed against her will becomes the most powerful testimony to the faithfulness of God that she has ever seen. When the overflow comes, when the breakthrough is so visible, so undeniable, so clearly beyond the realm of natural explanation, that even those who set themselves against you will be left with no honest response but to acknowledge that I am with you. That is my justice. Not destruction of the enemy, but the glorification of my name through the life of the one they tried to stop. Now, there is something I need you to do in this season of watching, because the battle is not yet fully finished in the visible realm. The spiritual victory is secured. It was secured before you ever saw this video, but the manifestation of that victory in your physical life requires your cooperation in the natural. I need you to guard your words. In this season, every word you speak about your situation is a seed. The enemy is listening. The atmosphere is sensitive. Do not speak defeat over the very things I am turning around. Do not confess failure over the finances I am restoring. Do not speak sickness over the body I am healing. Do not agree, not even in passing, not even in moments of exhaustion, with the narrative the enemy is trying to establish over your life. Speak what I say. Speak the promise. Speak the outcome. Speak the blessing, even before you see it. Because that is precisely what faith is, and faith is the currency of the kingdom you belong to. I also need you to guard your discernment. This woman is not the only one the enemy may attempt to use. Jealousy spreads. Bitterness forms networks. In this season of heightened spiritual activity around your life, be wise about who you give access to your plans, your dreams, your unfinished things. Not everyone who smiles at your face is cheering for your success in their spirit. This is not paranoia. This is the wisdom of a soldier who understands that sensitive information requires secure channels. Keep your closest confidences with me and with the one or two people in your life who have proven through time, through consistency, through their response to your breakthrough rather than your breakdown, that they are truly for you. Say out loud right now, I am wise, I am discerning, I guard what God has entrusted to me, and every plot formed against my life is already disintegrating. The woman who watches will soon be watching something she could never have anticipated. The full, unobstructed, heaven-released glory of your overflow. And what she watches will testify, whether she is willing or not, that the God who fights for his beloved never loses. Type in the comments, every plot against my life is already disintegrating. My dear son, this is the chapter where the story turns. Everything I have revealed to you up to this point has been building to this, the full reversal, the divine alchemy, the moment where I show you not just that you are protected, not just that the enemy's plans have been dismantled, but that every single thing that was released against you is being redirected, repurposed, transformed by my hand into the exact opposite of what was intended. This is one of my most sovereign and most beautiful attributes, the ability to take what was meant for your destruction and use it as raw material for your elevation. Let me speak to you about curses, because this word can carry fear for those who do not understand what it means in the context of my power. A curse, in its spiritual reality, is nothing more than a directed negative intent, a declaration of defeat spoken over someone's life with the expectation that it will take root and produce the fruit of destruction. It is an invitation to darkness to enter through a specific door. But here is what you need to understand about the nature of my kingdom. When you belong to me, the door that the enemy needs to enter has been permanently sealed. I sealed it with the blood of my Son. I sealed it with covenant. I sealed it with the immovable legal authority of heaven, which supersedes every declaration of darkness, regardless of how it was spoken, by whom it was spoken, or how long it has been in operation. A curse directed at a sealed life does not simply fail to enter. It bounces back, and when it bounces back through the atmosphere that surrounds my protection, something extraordinary happens to it. It does not return to the sender diminished. It arrives at your life transformed. What was designed as reduction, I reconfigure as increase. What was designed as sickness, I reconfigure as supernatural health. What was designed as division in your family, I reconfigure as a unity so strong that it becomes the very thing your family had been missing. Right now, in the heavenly register of your life, there are entries being made, adjustments, reversals, the financial curse, every word spoken over your money, every spiritual assignment deployed against your provision is being registered and reversed. In its place, I am writing increase, not just the restoration of what was taken, overflow. The kind of financial shift that makes you look back at this season of warfare and realize that the very attack against your finances was what broke open the dam of abundance that I had been preparing. The curse against your peace is being reversed into a depth of rest and shalom, the Hebrew completeness, the wholeness of spirit, soul, and body that will become so tangible in your home that people who visit will feel it the moment they walk through the door. They will not be able to explain it. They will only know that something in your home is different, that something holy lives there. That peace is not just the absence of conflict in your house. It is an active, living, breathing presence. The curse against your health, every declaration of sickness, every agreement with disease that was spoken against your body is being reversed. I'm speaking life into every cell. I'm releasing strength into every system. I'm commanding restoration into every place where deterioration was invited by the words of an enemy. The curse against your relationships, against your marriage if you are married, against your family bonds, against the friendships that sustain you, is being reversed into a deepening of connection so profound that the very relationships the enemy targeted to break become the strongest evidence of my faithfulness in your life. But I want to go deeper than just the reversals, because what I do is not just undo what was done. I elevate. I use what was sent against you as a launching pad. Think of a stone thrown at a wall. The intent is to break through, but if the wall is made of something the enemy did not account for, if the wall is made of my presence, my power, my covenant faithfulness, the stone does not break through. It ricochets. And a stone with that much force behind it, when it ricochets in the right direction, travels with tremendous velocity. That velocity is what is now working in your favor. Every force that was applied against your life in this season has added to the momentum of what is coming toward you. The breakthrough that is arriving is not just the thing I had originally prepared. It is that thing, plus the momentum of every attack that tried to stop it. It has been accelerated. It has been amplified. It arrives with greater force, greater impact, greater visibility than it would have if the path had been uncontested. This is why I keep telling my people, do not despise the warfare. Not because the warfare is good in itself, but because in my hands, warfare produces a velocity in the arrival of promise that seasons of ease simply cannot generate. You are about to receive the blessing that was always yours, but arriving faster, hitting harder, and producing more fruit than you had the capacity to imagine in the quieter seasons of your life. Place both hands open in front of you right now, palms facing up, and declare, I receive the full reversal of every curse. I receive financial overflow. I receive supernatural peace. I receive health and restoration. I receive everything that was held in reserve for this moment. In the name that is above every name, I receive it now. Let that declaration settle. Let it echo in the spiritual atmosphere around you. Because the reversal is not coming. It has begun, right now, in this moment. As you choose to agree with what I've already set in motion, my dear daughter, I want you to hear the word seal and understand exactly what it means when I use it. A seal is not a suggestion. A seal is not a layer of temporary protection that needs to be renewed based on your performance. A seal is a permanent, legally binding, spiritually immovable mark of ownership and authority. When I seal something, it belongs to me in a way that cannot be contested, cannot be breached, and cannot be undone by any force operating under any authority other than my own. And I am sealing your home, your family, and your future right now in this moment as you receive this word. Let me tell you what the seal looks like. Imagine a light, not the soft, dim light of a candle, but the blazing, all-consuming light that emanates from the throne of heaven itself, a light so pure that nothing dark can exist within it, nothing impure can pass through it, nothing with a destructive assignment can maintain its form in its presence. Now imagine that light descending from the heavenly realm, moving through the atmosphere above your home, passing through the roof, filling every room, every hallway, every corner, every crack and crevice where spiritual darkness might have attempted to take up residence. That light is moving right now. It is not metaphor. It is spiritual reality. And it is not stopping at the walls of your home. It is moving to your family members, each one individually. To your spouse if you are married, to your children if you have them, to the family members who carry your bloodline, who share your history, who are connected to you in the bonds of covenant relationship. The seal is moving over them, their minds sealed against confusion, their hearts sealed against the lure of what is not from me, their bodies sealed against sickness and deterioration, their destinies sealed against the attempts of the enemy to reroute, delay, or cancel what I wrote for them before the foundations of the world. And then the seal moves forward into time, into the future of your life, into the chapters that have not yet been written in your natural experience, but are fully composed in the books of heaven. The seal moves over your future finances, stamping them with the mark of overflow and abundance. It moves over your future health, marking it with longevity and vitality. It moves over the relationships that are coming, the divine connections I have been preparing, the people I have assigned to your life who carry the pieces of your purpose that you have not yet received. It moves over the opportunities, the doors that are about to open, the ones the enemy has been trying to hold shut, the ones that are even now beginning to give way. The seal covers all of it. Now, because I am a God who honors covenant, I want to establish something with you in this moment, a point of agreement between your faith and my faithfulness, because a seal, while it is fully mine to apply, requires your conscious participation to fully experience. The seal works completely in the spiritual realm, whether you acknowledge it or not. but your experience of the protection, the provision, and the peace that flows from the seal is directly connected to your willingness to live as someone who is sealed. To speak as someone who is sealed, to make decisions as someone who is sealed, to face opposition, and there will be more, as someone who knows that the outcome is already determined because the seal guarantees it. This means that when fear comes, and it will come, you do not feed it. You acknowledge its presence, and then you speak the truth of the seal over it. I am sealed. My home is sealed. My family is sealed. My future is sealed. Fear has no territory here. This means that when lack appears to press against your life, and in this season of transition it may, you do not agree with the narrative it is presenting. You speak the abundance that the seal guarantees. You give because sealed people give from a place of trust, not from a place of scarcity. You worship because sealed people know that praise is not the response to good circumstances. It is the declaration of a sealed reality that has not yet fully manifested in the natural. This means that when people come to test the seal, when the woman who has been set against you makes another move, or when a new instrument of opposition arises, you do not respond from a place of vulnerability. You respond from the settled authority of someone who knows that the seal of heaven has already classified that attack as ineffective before it even arrives. I am also sealing something specific for you in this moment that I want you to receive with intentionality. I am sealing your breakthrough, the specific thing you have been believing for. The prayer that you have prayed so many times that you stopped counting. The promise that you have held on to through seasons that tried to make you let go. I'm placing my seal over it. I'm marking it as yours. I'm declaring over it in the council of heaven that it belongs to this child, that it will not be given to anyone else, that it will not be lost in the waiting, and that it will arrive in a way that leaves no room for any explanation other than the faithfulness of God. You have been waiting for it. You have been faithful through the waiting, and now I am sealing it for you so that the waiting is guaranteed to end in the fulfillment of everything I promised. Say out loud with confidence right now, my home is sealed. My family is sealed. My future is sealed. My breakthrough is sealed, and nothing formed against what God has sealed will ever prosper over my life. The sealing is complete. And in the final chapter, you are going to see the full picture of what comes next, the moment the enemy who moved against you becomes a witness to everything God has been preparing in secret. Type in the comments, my home, my family, and my future are sealed by the hand of God. If this message has been touching your spirit, if you feel the weight and the reality of what is being released in this moment, please take a second right now to hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel if you have not yet done so. We release powerful prophetic messages like this one regularly, and your subscription ensures you will never miss a word that heaven sends. Click that button now and let's move into the final chapter.